Afternoon everyone, champions in waiting. Celtic hit the 80-point mark at Dens Park on Wednesday, and they're a league goal away from 90 for the season. Another win today will reopen a 19-point lead at the top with only 9 games to go at that point. The championship party for Celtic is not far away. These are the teams. Firstly, Hibs, 5 changes to the side which lost the CIS Cup final last Sunday. Both central defenders Matt Doumbé and Colin Murdoch are suspended. Kevin Thompson's injured, Gary O'Connor is out, and Derek Riordan is demoted to the bench. In come 18-year-old Jonathan Baillie, Stephen Whittaker, who's 19, Kevin Nicol, Tam McManus and Stephen Dobbie.
Again, it's a very young Hibs team. Bob Williamson set to start with a 4-4-2 formation. McManus and Dobbie, opportunity to score the goals up front. But another two youngsters coming into the play today. Young Jonathan Baillie getting the chance to play centre-back beside the experienced Gary Smith, and Kevin Nicol in midfield. Ball-winning player in there, good passer of the ball, again in beside Gary Caldwell to try and make them solid in that area.
A lot of interest in who plays for Celtic here, with Barcelona only 4 days away. Alan Thompson is missing with an ankle injury, but he should be okay, we're told, for Thursday. Stan Varga and Chris Sutton are still out. Time will tell if they can make it to the new camp. 19-year-old goalkeeper David Marshall continues his build-up to the big game. 20-year-old John Kennedy is in here. He could be required as well in that UEFA Cup tie. And 21-year-old Stephen McManus is drafted into the depleted defence to make his top-team debut.
I'm pleased that young David Marshall still in the Celtic team, made a very, very good game in midweek. But it's a very young Celtic defence with John Kennedy having played a few games, almost established himself in the team. But Steve McManus today, another young Celtic defender, big, strong, good in the ball. He won't let anybody down. And up front, Henrik Larsson, he's got the support today from Sylla and Petrov. He'll play round about Larsson's area as the main striker.
Well, Hibs had hoped to be parading the CIS Cup around the ground today. Sadly for them, they were cup final losers against Livingston at Hampden last Sunday. Now they'll try to finish as high up the league as they can, but they are currently joint second bottom. Here he is, if you haven't seen him before, 21-year-old Stephen McManus into the first team for the first time for Celtic. He was making noises about getting away earlier on in the season due to his lack of top-team opportunities, but this is a chance for him to put himself in the shop window. Dougie MacDonald is the referee, and he makes not a bad cup of coffee as Sandy and I found out earlier on. Mind you, I just wondered if he might have put something in it based on what we might have said about him earlier on in the season. Hibs last beat Celtic in the league 4 years ago. 2-1 it was then. Pat McGinley and Kenny Miller, the goal scorers. Up front, looking for a goal this afternoon, Stephen Dobbie with 6 so far, having been released by Rangers and making his mark at Easter Road. Hibs are 52 points behind Celtic in the Bank of Scotland Premier League, and in terms of goal difference, 90 worse off. That tells you something about the gulf which exists between these two. Hibs against Celtic on a Sunday lunchtime. And Sir Martin O'Neill wouldn't be human unless he was having thoughts about Barcelona on Thursday night. Clearly his team selection has that in mind, and all sorts of questions to be answered before Celtic kick off in that second leg of the 4th round tie in the new camp. It's live on the BBC, of course. In fact, we're in the middle of a Celtic away run. We showed you our match at Dundee on Wednesday, here today, Barcelona on Thursday, and then of course they head for Ibrox next Sunday.
When you talk about Celtic, Rob, I'm sure Martin O'Neill's thoughts today are trying to get all 3 points in the bag as soon as possible. They'll try and get this game over with and try to get some players, some experienced players off before the end of the 90 minutes. But I'm sure Bobby Williamson will be making sure that himself and his players try as hard as they can to make sure Celtic have to work for the full 90 minutes, take something from the game.
He looks there as if he doesn't have a care in the world, but I'm sure he does at the moment. 2 wins for Hibs in the league since the turn of the year, and that's a poor return.
No, it's not great in league for him, but don't forget that Hibs managed to beat both Celtic and Rangers in the CIS to get to the final. Unfortunately, from their point of view, they didn't quite manage to win the cup.
Balde, McNamara. Not too many Celtic supporters here, not as many as expected. Check, and I gather you've got the latest Radio Scotland road report.
Yeah, I'm the Ali Abbasi of television. I can tell you that because of the rugby traffic in Edinburgh, of course, big rugby international. I'm hoping to go and see that later on. Big fan of that. Scotland and France later on. They'll be caught up in the traffic, the Celtic supporters. The police, as they did in Tayside a few weeks ago, decided to not hold the kick-off up and go ahead with the game when Rangers would have trouble getting up to Dundee. So the game goes ahead at normal time, but some of the Celtic fans, I'm told, held up the traffic.
Not a bad ball, was it, from Stephen McManus to Henrik Larsson? He plays in Stilian Petrov, who shoots straight at Daniel Andersson. A chance for Celtic to be in front inside 2.5 minutes.
It's a great chance. Petrov should finish this one, but a great ball, as you say, from McManus. Henrik Larsson is always unselfish. Petrov does everything right, cuts back onto his good foot, his right foot, but then with lots of time, probably didn't realise how much time he had, really hit it straight at the goalkeeper.
That's a hefty challenge by John Kennedy on Tom McManus. He got a bad first touch, the Celtic central defender. He let the ball drift away, and in trying to make up for that, he really careered into McManus, and obviously a free kick, and this might have been a booking as well.
Well, it's late. They're certainly going for the ball, very aggressive, but thankfully McManus back in his feet and the game goes on.
There's Whittaker and Lennon. That's Scott Brown, and Whittaker's effort was dangerously close to that post, and David Marshall had to get himself down quickly.
Good effort from Stephen Whittaker. Had to time that one right, get the technique right, but he certainly watched the ball coming over his shoulder. Good contact on it, and Marshall had to be on his toes.
McManus with the free kick to Dobbie. It's off the other McManus, Stephen, and behind another Hibs corner.
That's an intelligent corner from Hibs. They recognise that Celtic got massive big defenders if they put the ball in, and again they're looking for the short one.
Petrov had it and then lost it. Played in by Nicol. Stephen Whittaker again. That's well kept by Caldwell. Nicol to McManus. Petrov blocked across and still has it, Stilian Petrov. Lambert and Pearson both went for that header. Scott Brown, he of distinctive hairdo. Balde on the end of his cross. Gary Caldwell, a key figure in the central midfield for Hibs. He'll look to hold things together and direct play if he can. That's him again. Doing good work, Caldwell. Exchanging passes with Scott Brown, but the return from Brown was short. And Neil Lennon rescues things for Celtic down at the corner flag.
That was good play there from Brown and Gary Caldwell. Just not enough on the pass, break the pass wrong from Scott Brown. Otherwise Caldwell would have been in a decent area to play the ball into the box. The Hibs have certainly started the game well.
Brown wins a free kick, given against McManus. Pearson's was the first challenge. McManus was the player who was penalised.
Again, it's good play from Scott Brown. Sometimes we talk about Brown for the wrong reasons, but he's very good at this. Keeps his eye on the ball, back to the defender. Great footwork to skip between the two of them and win the free kick.
5 in the box for Hibs. Tom McManus tries to pick someone out, not with that. Neil Lennon heads it clear. Rolling edge, poor ball in. But Hibs still have it. Well, they did. McManus short with the layoff, asking a lot of Gary Caldwell. Alan Reid back to Roland Edge. Down the line for McManus. Beaten by Balde. Hope Balde won't play on Thursday nights for Celtic, and how they will miss him. That's a free kick given in his favour. He's such a big player for Celtic, in all sorts of ways, and you just wonder how big a vacancy there will be in central defence for Celtic.
Not at all. I'm just laughing there at Neil Lennon having a tackle on Dougie McDonald, and the referee coming off second best there.
That was Jonathan Baillie's leap in central defence for Hibs. Edge clears, not a good one. Hibs really, when they get it, want to get the ball down, play passes, keep possession, and keep Celtic on the back foot. Larsson's way off, Agathe involved, back went Alan Reid, who's penalised. Celtic free kick.
I thought Alan Reid got the ball there. They went on just a little bit late, blowing his whistle. Certainly contact made with Agathe as well, but I thought he got a good contact on the ball. Just watch it here. Yeah, for me, I don't think that's a free kick. Agathe certainly making the best of that one.
Lambert's free kick, Balde's header, steered it back to the edge of the box, no one there for Celtic. That was Stephen McManus. Henrik Larsson. Jackie McNamara driving onto the pass, good run. Agathe's cross, beyond Pearson. Scott Brown, pacey, determined, purposeful, great run. Left Lennon in his wake and was stopped by McManus.
Great challenge from the youngster. Also great play from Scott Brown. Does really well, skip past Pearson first, then Lennon. But McManus doing really well, keeping his eye on the ball, timing the tackle to perfection.
8 minutes gone, lively start.
He started well, young Stephen McManus, playing the left back position today. Normally plays centre back, but looks more than comfortable there.
Scott Brown lays it back to Stephen Whittaker. Stephen Dobbie, good footwork. Clatters off John Kennedy. Optimistic noises about a penalty claim. Never a chance of it being upheld.
No, but Dobbie does really well. I tell you what, Rob, see if that's in the centre circle. I think the referee gives a free kick. It's a big decision to give a penalty. But to me, that looks like obstruction.
Dougie McDonald's view was that he ran into John Kennedy. McNamara for Celtic. That's out. It's been an encouraging start for Hibs.
They've passed the ball well. Good enthusiasm, good tempo to the game. We said before that Celtic would want to kill this one off early, but the way it's going, they're going to make sure that doesn't happen.
Ricocheted back off Brown. Stephen McManus with plenty of under-21 Celtic experience, but this is his top team bow. Offside. Teenager Jonathan Baillie. I don't know what he was up to there.
I think he must have a relative in that stand behind the goal there. No Hibs near him at all there. I'm not sure at all what he was trying to achieve.
All sorts of interest at the moment about who's in and who's out for Celtic today and who might play on Thursday night in the new camp. Chick, you've been trying to gather some intelligence.
Yeah, Dr. Chico's surgery is open. I'll tell you in a moment after this attack.
McNamara through for Petrov. Not the best first touch, and Roland Edge can drive that clear, Chick.
Yeah, I had a long chat with Martin Hill just before we came on here. The situation, Stan Varga would have had no chance of the game being today. They are hopeful he'll make it for Thursday. Chris Sutton, good news, he's improving. There are heightening hopes that he'll be available for the new camp.
Henrik Larsson on the ball, and that was behind Petrov. And now Scott Brown's off again. This time edged out of it by Pearson. Neil Lennon, under pressure from Brown, gave it away. And Stephen Dobbie wanted to take a touch there and think about it a little bit more, and might well have opened Celtic up.
Yeah, right, Rob, again, it was good passing from Hibs. Whittaker involved, McManus involved, and Dobbie just that final pass, just that little bit of penetration that counts in the last third. missing at the moment from Hibs.
Petrov through for Larsson, offside. I'm intrigued, I have to say, about Johan Mjallby on the bench, Sandy, for Celtic here. Celtic have got all sorts of defensive question marks at the moment. Would you not wanted to have given Mjallby a game here today, and so that he had a chance possibly of playing against Barcelona?
Well, if Martin O'Neill's thinking of Mjallby for Thursday, you would expect him to have started the game, maybe play an hour and then come off. Although Martin's maybe thinking, we'll start the game, if we're comfortable, get him on and play the latter part of the match. It's a different way of doing it. But if Mjallby is available for Thursday for Celtic, it'll be a big boost to them.
And of course, one player we haven't mentioned so far is Jos Verhaeren. He's injured and out as well. Not sure if he's got any chance of featuring against Barcelona. And you'd be hard pushed to name the Celtic defence at the moment. Verhaeren sitting in the stand at the moment. Chick, what do you reckon about Verhaeren?
Yeah, he too has a chance actually. He's close. The very phrase was he's close to being fit enough, so he's another one come into the pictures. The goalkeeping situation, of course, is that the Rob Douglas case will be heard at UEFA tomorrow. But I think there's concern that Michael McGovern, that's offside. Michael McGovern would be on the bench for Celtic if David Marshall starts the game. He's a young man, he's had no first team experience. In fact, he's actually older than David Marshall, who's 19 as well, but he's actually older than David Marshall. But he would have been the bench for that big game in the Nou Camp on Thursday night.
And you can see it, of course, on the BBC, exclusively live on Thursday night. The big build-up starts at 7, and the big kick-off 8. Barcelona against Celtic. Alan Thompson's goal separates the sides at the moment from the first game. Can Celtic see that one off? A 2-1 defeat or a 3-2 defeat, we would have to get them through. Here it's still stalemate, 13 minutes in at Easter Road. Hibs 0, Celtic 0, and Hibs giving a good account of themselves so far, and they'll feel they have to, because they'll feel they let themselves down. Last weekend they had early chances against Livingston, but in the end lost out in the CIS final.
It's been a good game so far, Rob. Certainly looked very dangerous on the counter-attack. Petrov that chance early on, but Hibs have certainly passed the ball well. Good enthusiasm amongst the youngsters in the Hibs team. And Bobby there, he's never particularly that happy, but I'm sure he can't be too unhappy about the way the game's going so far.
Larsson's flick. Roland Edge under the bouncing ball. Little Alan Reid, beaten by Jackie McNamara. McNamara wants it back from Larsson. In he goes. And it was a good enough challenge from Nicol, which ensured that McNamara's effort wasn't a threat to Andersson.
Good play again from Jackie McNamara, coming forward from the right-back position. It's amazing that he's getting further forward and did he Agathe so far.
Scott Brown for Hibs. And that could have gone anywhere. It's gone behind for a corner. It could have been an own goal.
Good break from Hibs on the counter-attack again. Scott Brown involved. Does really well here, playing the ball forward. It's good defender of Andersson from Celtic. Again, it's a good threat from Hibs as they go forward. Brown doing really well.
Terrific interception here from Paul Lambert, although that could have flown past David Marshall and into his own net. And the Celtic captain is hurt.
He does that well, Paul Lambert, the holding midfield player. Just making sure he was back into to cover his defenders. Jackie McNamara caught up upfield from the previous attack.
That's where Hibs have been really dangerous in this match, is on the break, and Scott Brown has been at the heart of most of their counter-attacks. He tried to set up Tam McManus, and there you saw Paul Lambert nipping in front of the Hibs striker, making sure he wasn't going to score. But just for a moment there, you wondered whether that was heading past Marshall and into his own net. But Paul Lambert, still a valuable player for Celtic, although used very sparingly these days by Martin O'Neill.
But that young man there, Rob, he started the game exceptionally well for Hibs down this right-hand side of the floor across the middle of the park. He's got good pace, he's a good footballer. Sometimes can be just a little bit too aggressive.
McManus corner. The header was from Brown. From Nicol. Back to Tam McManus. Good ball in. Jackie McNamara got there first. That was a terrific delivery from McManus beyond Marshall.
It's a great ball, the goalkeeper can't get to it. And Gary Caldwell doing everything right, attacking the ball at the back post. But that man there, Jackie McNamara, showing again all his experience to get there first and knock it out for the corner.
McManus tries his luck on the other side. Scott Brown's header, flipped on by Dobbie. David Marshall was fouled, says Dougie McDonald. Free kick.
I tell you, Rob, I say it often, I think goalkeepers are overprotected. I think this is another example of it. The ball's there to be won. The two of them are up for the ball. Maybe if anything, Gary Caldwell puts his arm out. Maybe that's why Dougie McDonald awarded the free kick. Otherwise, there's no real contact on him.
I thought you Dougie Donnelly refereeing the game there for a moment. It has been rumoured, of course, but as yet he's still not on the FIFA list. He was under pressure, though, was David Marshall there, and it's crucial experience for him ahead of what could be the biggest game of his life, having played half of the first leg against Barcelona. That's in from Stephen McManus, and Didier Agathe has Celtic ahead on 17 minutes. Sharp shooting from Agathe, and Hibs, who've had their chances, find themselves one down.
They're so simple. From a Celtic throw in, the ball just thrown into the box, and Didier Agathe does really well attacking the ball at the back post, gets to it first, knocks it across Andersson, giving the goalkeeper no chance of saving it, gets a fingertip to it, but the goalkeeper's unlucky the fact that it hits the post and is in the way. But give Didier Agathe lots of credit for getting there first. Poor defender from rolling edge at the back post goal.
Well, there was almost a stunned reaction to that Celtic goal, because it's Hibs who've been pressing in recent minutes, and that was against the run of play as Celtic struck, and Martin O'Neill watched Didier Agathe scoring his 4th goal of the season. It's 1-0 Celtic at Easter Road. Stephen McManus with the long throw, headed away by Gary Smith. Taking liberties with Stephen Whittaker against Stephen Pearson. And a lot of grappling going on over at the corner flag. Petrov to Pearson! And Didier Agathe could have scored 2 in a minute. What a chance!
I don't know how he misses this. Surely it takes a ball over his foot, but Stephen Pearson doing real well in the corner, staying onside. Good save from Andersson. And Didier Agathe must take his eye off the ball. I don't know if the ball was just inside that 6-yard box there, but Andersson gets a hand to it. I think he just mistimes that. Should have been 2.
It was Stephen Pearson driving into the penalty box. Andersson got a hand to it, and you swore Agathe was going to tuck that one in.
Again, when you look at Roland Edge, Stephen Pearson there doing really well, but Edge let Agathe go again. It's the 2nd time in a couple of minutes. He's already scored the goal. I don't think the Hibs coaching staff will be too happy with their left full back.
Here is the goal scorer, Agathe. Could have been double goal scorer. But Celtic will settle for being ahead here, and Hibs will feel pretty unlucky about being one down, because they have a fair chunk of the game. Henrik Larsson looking to make things worse for Hibs. Good scrapping from Reid, doing it back against Agathe. Balde's header. Lennon cools things down. And the 2 youngsters, Kennedy and McManus. Good pass from Steve McManus. It's not his first.
No, McManus has used the ball well from that left back position.
Neil Lennon, so important to Celtic. So much of the play flows through him, and he is again connecting the traffic. And Neil Lennon will be absolutely crucial to Celtic in the Nou Camp Stadium on Thursday night. That's Petrov. That's Stephen Whittaker to Scott Brown. But he allows Stephen Pearson in front of him. Pearson slipped as he was about to cross. That's Kennedy. Time for Lambert. Well, we can't tell him anything about composure. Agathe, attacking edge.
Great pass.
The former Gillingham man was in the way.
Sorry, Rob, great pass there from Paul Lambert, just as you said. Great experience, great first touch, sold Gary Caldwell a dummy, and a good ball wide.
McNamara to Petrov, out of Reid. Still in, Petrov kept out. Stephen Dobbie. Good pass to Gary Caldwell. And Scott Brown wide of him. That's where it goes. John Kennedy lost his footing there, but recovered.
That's a good defending there from John Kennedy. McManus was committed to the challenge. Lost the ball, but Kennedy was round to cover him.
Well, the big games keep on coming for Martin O'Neill and company. It's Barcelona on Thursday. It's Ibrox next Sunday. The Old Firm match is live on the BBC from 12:05. So it's drama after drama for Celtic at the moment, and that's a yellow card for Kevin Nicol.
Yeah, he's second to the ball. It's a high foot. It's dangerous play from the young Hibs midfielder. Stephen Pearson, clear favourite to get to the ball first. Can't complain about that one.
And of course, the free kick's coming back. Speaking about that Old Firm match next weekend, is a chance for Celtic to put even more daylight between themselves and Rangers and move another win away, another win closer to the title. Lennon's free kick, and the flag is up. Free kick given against Balde.
He's so hard to handle, Balde, such a big target to hit when he goes forward. But just a little bit of pushing inside the Hibs box here.
16 points between Celtic and Rangers at the top of the table at the moment, after Rangers' 4-0 win against Dundee yesterday. Celtic looking to make it 19 again. Hibs have other ideas. Scott Brown. Well, that's a disappointment for him, because he has been one of the first half highlights as far as Hibs are concerned. He's been very positive and very dangerous as he's gone forward at pace, and that coupled to the solidity in midfield that Gary Caldwell has supplied has meant that Hibs have looked a pretty decent team in this first half, but they're one down courtesy of Agathe's goal. This was all very simple and in off the post.
It's good play from Agathe, but when you look at Rowan's edge, it's really poor defending.
And it's just all you need is a moment of human error like that from Bobby Williamson's point of view. Hibs are going well, they're creating little chances here and there, and then suddenly Rowan Edge goes to sleep, 1-0. Reid. Good skill. That was intended for McManus. Free kick against Balde.
I don't think Balde can have any complaints. He's going to apologise to McManus, but he certainly catches him with his arm here. McManus looks as if he may be fair. He's going to get to the ball first. You see Balde, he's thrown his arm, his elbow out, and catches the head striker. See it there, just across his neck, into his jaw. That's dangerous play. Maybe just a little bit fortunate there at the end of the yellow card.
Yeah, I think he could have joined Kevin Nicol in the book there, but doesn't. 25 minutes gone at Easter Road. Hibs 0, Celtic 1. Agathe's not a regular goal scorer, and he separates these two here. Hibs looking to get back on terms. Kevin Nicol, no joy. Cleared by Kennedy. That's Lambert, and Petrov, well-controlled pass to Agathe. Henrik Larsson is peeled out wide. That's for Stephen Pearson. Still in Petrov! Agathe. Well, it had to be offside, didn't it?
It's a goal kick, Rob.
Is it?
The ball rolled out for a goal kick, but how still in Petrov didn't stick that one away, I'll never know. I don't know what he tries to do eventually. It's great play from Pearson. He's onside. Good run from Petrov. But stick the ball in the net. The goalkeeper's committed. Tries to play it to Agathe.
I don't understand that. It looked like
it didn't look out there, but that's when the linesman put his flag up.
But it looked like a replica of Dens Park on Wednesday night. Pearson playing in Petrov. He had to score, and for some reason decided to over-elaborate.
He actually showed the goalkeeper the dummy as well. He still didn't have a shot at goal. That's two that Petrov's missed. Agathe's missed one. The game could have been over already.
It certainly should have been 2-0 there, and Sylla and Petrov should have scored his 9th goal of the season. What was he thinking about? Maybe he's just trying to up Didier Agathe's tally. And Hibs will feel happy, they're only one down. Here's Stephen Dobbie. Lofted in by Caldwell, away by McNamara. There's Dobbie. Good skill. Stephen Dobbie got the shot in on goal, but it's pulled back for the free kick. Handball.
Handball, John Kennedy. Good skill from Stephen Dobbie. Keeps the ball up 5-6 times here. The ball's played into him. It just falls to him here. It's a good first touch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's beat my record already.
He's about 5 past it. So a set-piece chance for Hibs to try to square the game.
I think Stephen Dobbie will have a go with this one.
Everyone back for Celtic. It's Stephen Dobbie, it's wide.
He's unlucky, the Hibs striker. He's made up his mind, he knows what he's trying to do. Just doesn't get enough bend in the ball to curl inside the post. I don't think David Marshall's getting to this one. The young goalkeeper wouldn't have reached it. Unlucky Dobbie.
Larsson's header. Petrov's after it. Gary Smith had a head start. Roland Edge was being held back by Didier Agathe. A free kick for Hibs. I mentioned Doumbé and Murdoch missing for Hibs, suspended today. Also Ian Murray and Stephen Glass are two other long-term injury absentees, and that doesn't make Bobby Williams' job any easier. It's a thin squad. And the reason for Gary O'Connor's absence, we're told, is illness. And of course Derek Riordan, who's scored 10 times for Hibs this season, he's on the bench alongside his very calm gaffer. Calmness and Bobby Williamson in the one sentence, surely not, Chick?
Well, actually, I think he's got a case. For me, that was absolutely Hibs' ball when it came off. Right in front of him, right in front of the referee. I don't know. See these sponsors they've got in the referees, you wonder sometimes, don't you?
McNamara lofts it forward. Gary Smith's header. Kept in by Alan Reid. And headed out by Tam McManus. In the 30th minute at Easter Road. Didier Agathe's goal, the only one so far. Larsson's back heel. Agathe tried again. Pearson can keep this in. Stephen McManus played it in. And maybe hurried it. John Kennedy. Not too sure of touch. Lovely touch from Henrik Larsson. Kennedy, Petrov, Lennon. Stephen Pearson turns on the pace. Still in Petrov. It's Petrov again. Daniel Andersson saves his shot. Petrov furious. It's another chance for the Bulgarian to get his name on the score sheet. Another chance to stretch Celtic's advantage.
He's unlucky this time, Petrov, but it's a great move from Celtic. 7, 8, 9 passes before Petrov had that chance.
Pearson back to McManus. Long ball from Kennedy. Jonathan Baillie looks to have things under control. Scott Brown's head flick. Bogo Balde is there, and Paul Lambert. Kevin Nicol for Hibs. Gary Caldwell, good pass, simple pass. But it gets Stephen Dobbie on the move. Still it's Dobbie. That's a great block by John Kennedy.
Great challenge from the Celtic central defender, had to get it right. Got it right.
Back from Reid to Andersson. Gary Smith. The reverse pass is a good one for Tom McManus. Looking for support now. Scott Brown arriving. Tries to set it up for Gary Caldwell. The 1-2. Caldwell again off McManus. Corner kick is what they'll have to settle for.
That's a goal kick. I think the last touch come off Caldwell there. He's unlucky. There's a great break from Hibs. Great ball from Gary Smith to Tom McManus.
I just wonder, Sonny, if they're elaborating too much on the edge of the area. Someone's going to be getting more shots in on goal, surely.
Well, when Scott Brown lays the ball back to Gary Caldwell, why not have a go from 18, 19 yards? But the midfield player tried to play a little 1-2, tried eventually to cross the ball into the box, but unluckily the rebound come back off him for a goal kick.
What's the Hibs gaffer making of it, Chick?
Yeah, the latest instructions on to Gary Smith that Henry and Larsson coming back to get the ball, short passes played to him. He wants Gary Smith to come with him. He's coming away from him, giving him too much space. Just go with Larsson when he comes short.
That's Kennedy. Baillie won it against Larsson. Smith. Back to Daniel Andersson. And that's poor.
We keep talking about Celtic's striking problem. Obviously John Hartson and Chris Sutton not available at this moment in time, but when you get Henrik Larsson up there, one of the reasons that Celtic have created so many chances today is the support he gets from Petrov and Stephen Pearson. The timing from the midfield players is immense. Petrov was almost up beside him, but between Petrov and Pearson, they created lots of chances.
Henrik Larsson has just scored his 31st goal of the season. It's a blunder by Daniel Andersson, who looked as if he was going to pick it up, didn't. And Larsson hasn't scored many easier goals than that one.
Well, Larsson doesn't hang about. Daniel Andersson looks to be well in control of the situation. Picks now, he doesn't have the ball. Give Larsson credit, the goalkeeper doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's trying to get to it there. And they get there at the same time. He's not in control of it, the goalkeeper. The linesman on the far side, he's got a perfect view of it, and right away he ran towards the halfway line, indicating there's no infringement in his view.
Answer me this one, Sandy. Why did he not step out of the box and boot it in the main stand?
Well, that's what we'll be saying now. There's not a lot of complaints from the Hibs players. The goalkeeper's having a half-hearted attempt at the linesman. But Henrik Larsson, he's off and celebrating.
And Henrik Larsson is now out on his own as the third highest goal scorer in Celtic history. One better than another Celtic legend, Stevie Chalmers. And he also beats the Celtic league goals record of another legendary figure, Bobby Lennox. So he just continues, Henrik Larsson, to trample all over the record books. His 31st goal of the season, and 232 in total for the club.
You can't say enough about the man. He's just such a talented footballer. But it's pure defending again. Hibs are 2-0 down. That's a free kick there. That's Baillie and still in Petrov. But if you're Bobby Williamson, you know, Celtic have certainly created chances. Petrov's missed more than anyone. But when you look at the two goals, Roland Edge the first time, then Daniel Andersson the second time, basic defensive errors, and that's why Celtic are in front.
And Daniel Andersson made a complete hash of that. There's really no other way to describe it. The ball wasn't really, it was always struggling to reach the penalty box, and in those sort of circumstances, surely it's got to be safety first, especially with Henrik Larsson bearing down on you.
Well, come and clear your lines and put the ball out of the park if necessary, but the goalkeeper just made a mistake in judgment. But that this game, it's an incredible game. I'm sure Bobby Wilson, but they will not be getting stick because Hibs look as if they're going to lose this game, but what can a manager do about that type of thing?
And when it's at 1-0, then you think, well, there's every chance that we can get back on terms, says Bobby Williamson. There was the free kick from Dobbie, which wasn't far away from cancelling out the Celtic opening goal. Suddenly 2-0 down, and it's going to be difficult now to get anything from a Hibs viewpoint out of this game.
Well, I mean, you look at the fact, we've said before that Hibs have played well attacking-wise. McManus has looked a threat, Scott Brown's looked a threat, Dobbie the free kick just past the post. Hibs certainly haven't been out of the game, but it's down to quality of players and mistakes. And when you make those type of mistakes at the back, then Celtic are going to take full advantage, and that's the difference.
Baillie's header. Back from Lennon to Marshall. And this reshuffled Celtic side makes me absolutely delighted with the way the first half has gone. It's pretty much game over already. You don't really expect Celtic to throw this away. 2-goal advantage with 37 minutes gone. And 2 goals up, and it could have been 4 or 5.
It could have been. You know, that clearance here from John Kennedy, that's why Celtic haven't lost a goal. No messing about. If you're not sure, put it in row Z. That's exactly what the young man done there. They're now back, they're now organised, they'll defend the throw in.
Agathe and Larsson for Celtic, and Hibs are 2 down. Whittaker loses it. Petrov to Pearson. These two giving great support to Larsson, the lone striker. So much adaptability about this Celtic setup, even minus key figures like Varga and Hartson and Sutton and Thompson. It'll be 19 points between Celtic and Rangers if the champions in waiting win this one. That's Smith and out. Doing exactly what Daniel Andersson should have done a few minutes earlier and got rid of it.
Again, Rob, you see the value of Henrik Larsson. He does so much more than just score goals. That was just a clearance up the field of play, but as soon as the ball goes forward, Larsson makes a bad ball a good ball to put the defender under pressure.
That's right. I mean, other strikers would just have let that go, thinking it was Andersson's ball. It certainly should have been. McNamara. Larsson's back heel. Lambert. Lennon. Petrov. That's from McManus. Whittaker gets there before Pearson, and Daniel Andersson getting the treatment now. Celtic use the ball so well. Very few wasted passes.
They've now got that 2-goal cushion as well, which gives them lots of confidence. But the one thing Hibs have to do, they've got to make sure they don't drop their heads. They haven't played badly at all when in possession of the ball. They've got to make sure their attitude's right. Keep working hard, keep playing away, and they might just get that break that they need.
You say they haven't played badly, Sandy, and yet they could be behind by 4 goals.
Well, I think Celtic have been exceptional going forward. Petrov has got himself into some great positions, and Andersson certainly making 1 or 2 good saves. But it's the basic mistake. Sometimes you have to be lucky. If you defend well and work hard, you get the breaks at times. But the 2 goals have been so cheap.
Caldwell's pass picks out Brown. Scott Brown looking to get Hibs back in the game, but no one on the end of the cutback. It was McNamara there first. Stephen McManus getting there before Brown. Scott Brown hit the deck there, and he's screaming at Dougie McDonald. In fact, he's screaming at anyone who'll listen.
I think Dougie McDonald's saying to Scott Brown there, I never seen anything, I didn't see it, so how can I make a decision if I don't see it? The game goes on, no?
Well, Neil Lennon looked to have a little kick at Scott Brown there. That's why Hibs feel aggrieved. There was certainly a little bit of starters going on there before the throw-in was taken. Here's another angle on it, Sandy.
Well, just watch the two of them here. Brown, yeah, it does. That's a penalty kick. You know, there's no need for that. Neil Lennon should know better. Scott Brown obviously upset Neil Lennon at some point in the game.
Well, I think we've been critical of Scott Brown earlier this season in some of his antics, but you could understand where he was coming from there. And Neil Lennon, well, that was just ridiculous from Lennon, really. And he could have conceded a penalty. He could have let Hibs back into the game.
Well, it should have been. Neil Lennon just been so silly there. A lot about arcus between the two of them.
Here's the free kick. No danger to Celtic.
Yeah, Gary Caldwell well over the bar. But that type of situation, Rob, makes it so hard for the referee. Don't get me wrong, it's hard enough. Sometimes you need eyes in the back of your head to referee a game. He obviously didn't see the incident because Dougie McDonald was certainly awarded took the award in Hibs' favour. But Neil Lennon, there's no excuse for that. It's silly. He's still having a go. I'll just keep my eye on the two of them at the moment, Brown and Lennon.
I fear the path of the two number 18s might cross again before this match is over. They certainly had words on the back of that incident. And I guess Hibs would have hoped that if Dougie McDonald didn't see it, then at least his assistant on this side, Graham Allison, might have picked up the incident, because obviously there are 4 officials involved on any one game, and well, Graham Allison obviously saw nothing either.
Just when you look back at it, Rob, you know, when Lennon had the kick at Brown, I don't think the ball was in play, so probably wouldn't have awarded a penalty kick because the ball was out of play. But I'm sure there would have been some action against Neil Lennon.
Just about a minute and a half left of the first 45. Hibs 0, Celtic 2. 1 minute will be added. Beattie, Agathe and Henrik Larsson, the goal scorers. 4th of the season for Agathe, 31st of the season for Larsson. Phenomenal. 10 goals in his last 12 games, the Celtic striker. Well, if he's playing Scott Brown, you don't tend to miss him, and not just because of the hairdo.
No, but he's played well today. You know, he hasn't broken any rules. He's been competitive. He's worked hard. He's been a threat to Celtic going forward down the right-hand side.
David Marshall's clearance, and another teenager on the end of it, and Jonathan Baillie. Balde, and it's Baillie again. That came off Brown. Just about 90 seconds away from the half-time whistle. Celtic well in control, having had to soak up a fair bit of Hibs pressure. Hibs certainly haven't had the breaks, but in truth they could have been further behind. It's been a funny old game. Long ball from Kennedy, headed away by Smith, headed straight to Agathe. Jackie McNamara at pace, gets beyond rolling edge, pulls it back. Agathe had a great chance to score again, and it came off his teammate Petrov.
Great player from Jackie McNamara. Great awareness when he got to the dead ball line. When you look at that chance for Celtic, it's Roland Edge again involved. Jackie McNamara just skipping past him as if he wasn't there.
The first half just about over at Easter Road, and Celtic halfway towards reopening that 19-point gap. It's half-time. Celtic in the driving seat thanks to Didier Agathe on 18 minutes, and almost inevitably Henrik Larsson made it 2. This was number 1. Played in by Stephen McManus, and Agathe got away from Roland Edge to steer the ball in off the inside of the post. That was Celtic 1-up. And bizarre was goal number 2. Daniel Andersson, who got it out of the area and booted it clear. He waited for it to come into his hands. It didn't. Henrik Larsson wasn't waiting, and he stroked the ball into the unguarded net for his 31st goal of the season. It's 2-0 Celtic, and that won't please Jerry McCabe.
Jerry, 2-0 down. Actually, I don't think Hibs are playing that badly. Is that fair?
I think we're doing okay in the game. Checking just when you think you're doing okay, you know, Celtic come up and, you know, and they've scored the goal. Whether, you know, I don't know if Edges lost a gap, but you know that's the way Celtic play. You know, you think you're doing okay against them, then they just punish you.
You've got to blame the goalkeeper for the second one, haven't you?
Well, looking at it, you know, I think Daniels maybe took the wrong option, but you know, I'd rather just cleared the ball. You know,
easy second half task. Just score 3 times against Celtic.
Well, game can change so quickly. You know, we get a goal, we're back in it, but if we lose another goal, then we're toiling. You know.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jack.
Celtic heading towards a 27th Premier League win of the season, still unbeaten. 27 wins it will be, and 2 draws if they finish off the job here, and they show every sign of doing so. They're also in the Tennent Scottish Cup semi-finals, and a 1-0 lead heading for Barcelona on Thursday night. They've now scored 91 league goals this season, heading towards that 19-point lead again over Rangers, who they play next Sunday on the BBC. So you'll see Barcelona Celtic and Rangers Celtic live on the Beeb in the coming week. Tam McManus trying to make some progress for Hibs, stopped by his namesake Stephen at left back for Celtic, and he's done pretty well on his top team debut. Stephen Dobbie finding room for a cross, which John Kennedy cuts out. Gary Smith. Stephen Whittaker doesn't get it back from Scott Brown.
Pure touch that time from Scott Brown. Whittaker trying to play a little 1-2, go down as a work overlap down the right hand side.
Whittaker stopped by Petrov. Now Pearson. Petrov keeps it so well. McNamara for Agathe. Roland Edge getting a little bit closer to Agathe than he was at the opening goal. Hibs badly need a goal, and their league record this season doesn't give them much encouragement, because no team has scored fewer goals in the league this season, the Premier League, than Bobby Williamson's team, 24 in 26 games.
You wonder as well, Rob, second half. Martinelli obviously 1 iron on Thursday night. Will Celtic take the foot off the gas a little bit? Well, the game stays at 2-0. I'm sure they won't be forced to work too hard. Whereas if Hibs get the next goal, it'll be game on.
The slip by McManus gives Stephen Dobbie a little bit of room. Still has it. And that's a poor end product for Hibs, because Gary Caldwell was standing right alongside him. Lennon to Petrov. Larsson, and Petrov onside. If he could have got that under control, he had another chance, Petrov, to score, and he's had enough already.
He timed the run to perfection. Great play between Larsson and still in Petrov. Petrov there appreciating the ball from his strike partner today. It's a great ball from Henrik Larsson. Decent first touch, but he stumbles in the surface there going forward. Again, it's a great idea of the threat that Petrov has from that midfield area, just round about the striker.
Here they go again, combining so well, Petrov and Larsson, and now Pearson. Neil Lennon rolls in, Henrik Larsson. He's scored again. 3-0 Celtic, 3 minutes into the second half. 2 for Larsson, 32 for the season.
It's a great move. No, he's well onside, Henrik Larsson, no doubt about it. Great ball from Neil Lennon. I love this for a finish again. It makes his mind up what to do. He knows exactly what he wants to do, Larsson. He keeps an eye on the goalkeeper. It's a great run to start with. Good pass from Lennon. Great first touch. Right foot across his body onto his left foot. Simplicity itself. Commit the goalkeeper and just roll it into the net.
Well, you spoke about Celtic taking their foot off the gas. You would think they can do now with a 3-goal advantage.
Well, it's so simple, the goal. Not a lot of pressure at the start of the second half from Celtic, but Petrov already having half a chance just a couple of minutes ago. But Lennon certainly putting the result beyond doubt.
A word in the ear of John Kennedy from Dougie McDonald's. Hibs badly need some good news. The short corner taking McManus to Dobbie. It's not going well for the home team.
No, he just sensed that the heads are going down a little bit. You can see it there on Tom McManus' face. The body language is there for everyone to see. But the young Hibs players have got to show a bit of character. They've got to keep working away. They don't want to be embarrassed here this afternoon.
It's a nightmare start to the second half for Hibs. Going in at 2-0 down. Almost immediately Stilian Petrov should have scored, and Henrik Larsson did. And it could get much worse for Hibs if Celtic want more goals. The other side of the coin is that Celtic do move down a gear and save themselves for Thursday.
I think, Rob, when you look at some of the Celtic players like Petrov, Pearson, I don't know if they can understand going down a gear. They just like to go and play.
Balde loses out to Gary Caldwell. It's won back by Neil Lennon. Petrov's flick caught by Gary Smith, but no free kick.
That's good refereeing from Dougie McDonald. The ball was well away from Petrov. There's no way he was going to pick it up. Just went over the leg of Gary Smith.
Alan Reid hoists it in. Stephen McManus is there. It's Pearson. Whittaker. Tom McManus. Touched the shot wide, he was off balance.
He's unlucky, Tom McManus. Fights for the ball well inside the Celtic box. It's a decent first touch, a turn. Really trying to fight beyond Balde there. He just didn't get the break at the last minute.
Dobbie and McManus linking up. Scott Brown. The combination of Lennon and Stephen McManus keep the door closed for Celtic. Whittaker's cross. Dobbie tried to get his head to it. Gary Caldwell tried to force it back in, but it was a good challenge from Didier Agathe, who was doing the backtracking, and that ensured there was no threat at all to Celtic.
Good determination there from Didier Agathe. Very aggressive going for that 50-50 ball.
Well, the new Celtic attacking formation is working well, with Henrik Larsson as the sole striker, but very quickly supported every time by Petrov and Pearson. It's an attacking formation that Martin O'Neill has gone to out of necessity in the absence of Sutton and Hartson and Maloney, but it's not doing them any harm, is it? It's working well, and the pace and the tenacity of Pearson and Petrov means they get forward very quickly to support Henrik Larsson.
Balde at the other end there, having to make sure he defended properly. No mix-up between the big centre-back and the young goalkeeper. But when you think back, Rob, to the last time we've seen Larsson play in his own, the game at Tbilisi, the previous round of the UEFA Cup, Pearson and Petrov are very good towards the end of that game, supporting Larsson.
Tom McManus with the Hibs corner. Gary Caldwell climbing for the header. Bobo Balde won it against Stephen Whittaker, who's injured. Balde racing away with Lambert on one side, Larsson on the other. The pass was speculative.
I think that was a nosebleed there from the big Celtic centre-back.
In goes Agathe again, this time Roland Edge makes sure that it goes through to Daniel Andersson, the two culpable Hibs players in the first half who made contributions to the Celtic goals, managing to ensure there that there was no further damage done. Dobbie, Caldwell, McManus with the layoff. Edge. Dobbie on the ball. Lambert blocked his pass. Reid. Kevin Nicol lofted in. No joy against the towering figures of Balde and Kennedy. McNamara thumps it upfield. What's Bobby Williamson saying at the moment, Chick?
Well, I can't say I'm looking forward to the interview at the end of the match, Rob, but I think might all get savaged. He's not happy with the team, how cheaply they're giving the ball away, easy passes going astray when they're not under pressure. He's just not happy with the Hibs have performed this second half.
And there's another case in point for Hibs, another reason for frustration. The ball played up to Tom McManus, he just couldn't make it stick. And they've had very little of the possession in the second half at a time in the match where they really need to hit back, and what they didn't want to do was concede another goal early in the second period, and they really are well up against it now, and their play is becoming pretty untidy.
That third goal was the killer one for them. As you say, Jeremy McCabe was saying just at half-time, if they could get the next goal back in the match, get a little break, it would certainly be game on. Jerry actually said that a third one would kill them, and that's exactly what's happened. The heads are down, they don't look to have any confidence as they're passing the ball about. Celtic quite happy now to sit in, 4 across the back, 4 in the middle of the park, getting behind the ball, leaving Larsson and Petrov to pick up the crumbs as they go forward.
(2-0), 3-0 in fact, Celtic. 10 minutes into the second half. 2 for Larsson, 1 for Agathe. Henrik Larsson just can't stop scoring as his Celtic career comes to an end. And he doesn't panic in those sort of situations, does he? And he just stroked the ball in past Daniel Andersson. 2 for him, 32 for the season.
What Larsson does so well, Rob, is he moves his feet, moves the angle of the ball, making it really difficult for the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's then got to change his position, and that's why he managed to slip it between his legs.
But Hibs, as Bobby Williamson is conceding at the moment, making a big contribution to their own downfall here, with a lot of poor passing. A team much changed for Hibs from the one which lost the CIS Cup final last weekend. Derek Riordan is on the bench. I wonder if we'll see him getting a run before we're finished. He's scored 10 goals this season, Riordan, and the last time the BBC cameras were here on a Sunday afternoon, it was the Edinburgh Derby, and he scored an absolute peach, curled in past Craig Gordon. And, well, the introduction of Riordan might just lift things for Hibs. They need some help here.
Yeah, I can understand why Bobby Williamson didn't play him today. He's had a fabulous season, the youngster. But the last few weeks, especially last week in the CIS Cup final, looked very, very tired. When you're a youngster playing as many games, things start to catch up with you. I think Bobby, it's a wise move from the Hibs manager today to leave him out.
I wonder if Graham Allis has just spotted Neil Lennon's kick at Scott Brown in the first half, but presumably he's seen something which he's going to bring to Dougie McDonald's attention. Yellow card, and that will just compound Daniel Andersson's Sunday afternoon misery.
I'm sure Chick will be on the case. But
it's not, of course, David Marshall. That's Daniel Andersson.
I don't know what the big goalkeeper said. There must be dissent. They must have said something to the linesman.
Balde's header. Jonathan Baillie. The assumption is that Andersson was booked for dissent.
Okay, Robbie must have a loud voice here to shout at the assistant from that distance with this big crowd.
Gary Smith stays calm in defence. Edge to Reid, under pressure from McNamara. And Celtic 3 ahead, still chasing everything down all around the pitch. Hibs are hoping that Celtic might switch off, but no great evidence of it.
No, not so far. Very professional in the way they're going about things now. I just wonder when McNamara will make some changes. He's almost certain to use all 3 subs today. But just who will it be when we see Mjallby at some point?
Gary Caldwell to Scott Brown. Neither McManus nor McNamara could get on the end of that. But there was a push, and it's a Celtic free kick.
Just Tom McManus on Jackie McNamara with the free kick.
Well, let's clear up the mystery surrounding Daniel Andersson if we can. Here's what happened, placing the ball for the goal kick. And, well, presumably it was words aimed in the direction of Graham Allison.
A yellow card for pointing, is that?
I think it might be the words that went with it. Sam McManus lays it back for Alan Reid. Good header, Stephen McManus. Gary Smith. Scott Brown looks to get beyond McManus, doesn't, but does win a corner.
That's the first time I've seen Scott Brown attacking the Celtic left back in the second half. The young Steve McManus up to the challenge again. Good tackle, giving away a corner kick though.
Celtic are going to make 2 changes by the looks of it. Johan Mjallby is going to come on, and Craig Beattie as well.
Could be a rest for Henrik Larsson, I would think.
The Hibs corner from McManus. Whittaker had a swing at it. McNamara clears. Back from Nicol to the corner kick taker. Kevin Nicol's cross. Stephen McManus there. Dobbie tries to get on the end of it. Scott Brown, Nicol's shot blocked by Kennedy. That's well won by Pearson against Brown. Now Larsson, who's about to be substituted. Petrov plays it back to him. Andersson clears. And it's going to be Lennon and Larsson, the 2 players to come off for Celtic when Mjallby and Beattie come on. Another pass goes astray for Hibs. Caldwell's effort to get Sam McManus down the right-hand side. But now we'll see the double switch for Celtic. Neil Lennon bids farewell. And Johan Mjallby, who hasn't started a Celtic game since December.
I think you'll find, Rob, that Jackie McNamara going to Lennon's midfield area. Kennedy maybe to right back and Mjallby and beside Balde. Well, Mjallby at this moment in time playing central midfield. That's a bit different.
Well, the way they're lining up certainly looks as if he's just going to play that sitting midfield role, which of course he has done a lot in the past for both Celtic and Sweden. Martin O'Neill seems to be going for minimum disruption to the shape of the team. Stephen Dobbie sees a scoring chance, but it's straight at David Marshall, who gathers at the second attempt.
He does well, Stephen Dobbie. Picks up this ball, edge of the box, skips past 1, 2 defenders. Does everything right, gets his shot on target. We give the young Celtic goalkeeper Marshall credit for getting his angles right.
McNamara's throw to Petrov. So strong with the ball still in Petrov, you struggle to shake him off it. Gary Smith played that off Didier Agathe. His goal broke the deadlock, of course, in the first half. And then that was followed by 2 from Henrik Larsson. 3-0 Celtic. And Bobby Williamson doing a little bit of public relations, is he, Jim?
You might call it that. He's getting a bit of stick with a couple of punters in the stand, and they were, well, I can't really repeat what the fans said, but Bobby said, yeah, it's not that good, I'm afraid. Coming in, and the boy was giving him all sorts of abuse, and Bobby said, come into my office, we'll talk about it privately. But I've just told the nation, haven't I?
Did they say something along the lines of, this is disappointing fare?
Yeah, sort of thing.
Gary Caldwell, Scott Brown, Stephen Whittaker fires it in with a fair bit of pace at the near post, and it was John Kennedy who stooped to head the ball behind.
That's a decent ball in from Whittaker. Again, the Celtic defenders, they attacked the ball so well, cleared the lines. Kennedy again first to it.
The Tom McManus corner. Bobo Balde headed it clear and took a knock at the same time. Craig Beattie. Gary Smith nipped in ahead of him.
That's good defender from Gary Smith. Craig Beattie's very quick, using his experience to get in front of him. Free kick there against Steve McManus, just a little tug and tap McManus as McManus played the ball around him. Assistant to the far side spotted that one.
If Hibs look deflated, you can understand why. 7 days ago they lost the CIS Cup final to Livingston, and they're being given a bit of a going over at home here as well by Celtic. That's poor from Stephen Whittaker. No questions at all being asked of Celtic with that sort of ball in. Jamie Smith is going to be the next Celtic change, the final Celtic change. Paul Lambert to come off. We spoke about Derek Riordan, and he's going to be on for Hibs shortly. It's all going horribly wrong for Hibs here.
Just too much in that pass here from Gary Caldwell.
Jamie Smith will replace Paul Lambert, who would like to be playing a lot more first-team football than he is. He's hobbling his way to the touchline.
I'm just going to say that, Rob, he's got a sharp one on his right leg there, as you can see. Obviously carrying an injury. We see still in Petrov back in the middle of the pack now. Jamie Smith up front beside Craig Beattie.
Alan Reid is the Hibs player to have gone off, and he's replaced by 10-goal Derek Riordan. I wonder if his presence can lift the home team. Still 4 teenagers on the pitch. David Marshall of Celtic, Jonathan Baillie, Scott Brown and Stephen Whittaker of Hibs. Craig Beattie doing the hold-up work for Celtic, winning the throw. Nearly 69 minutes gone at Easter Road. Hibs 0, Celtic 3.
I think you can see now from the way the game is going, Martin O'Neill's more than happy just to settle to get all 3 points. The last 21 minutes or so, be quite happy just to see it through.
Caldwell's pass, collected by Edge. Being forced to edge back the way by Didier Agathe. Riordan, good pass. No way through for Nicol. That was good covering across from John Kennedy, good awareness.
He's played well again today, John Kennedy. Attacks the ball well, aggressive in the tackle, and also reads the game well, covering really well around the back there.
Stephen Dobbie. And it's that man Kennedy one more time. McNamara's clearance. Jackie McNamara now wearing the captain's armband since Paul Lambert went off. Smith under pressure from Beattie. Was almost up alongside us. You were about to reach for a header there, weren't you?
I was trying to get there.
As usual, you didn't.
But Rob, when you look at Celtic today, they've obviously scored 3 goals, created lots of opportunities, especially first half. But they've been very solid across the back. McNamara, Balde, Kennedy, and young Steve McManus all playing very, very well, snuffing out any threat from Hibs.
Quite understandable that Martin O'Neill has already used all 3 substitutes. It's a tough regime for Celtic, especially the way things are at the moment. This is their 47th game of the season, and that's 15 games more than Hibs have played, and that's going to be a yellow card.
Yes, a tackle, Steve McManus, not his first of the day. But Scott Brown, that's persistent foul.
Kick-off, it was 52 points between Hibs and Celtic. It's going to be 55. Whittaker. Dobbie. In goes Tom McManus. But it's defended well again by Celtic. They're big and they're tough at the back, and they take some breaking down.
Yeah, it's good defending again. I think it was Steve McManus that time, first to the ball. Inside the box. I think it's Stephen Dobbie taking a knock there. Just watch it here, it's a challenge, a push there by Dobbie. But John Kennedy eventually getting the ball away. McManus it was just before that made the clearance. And I think the word is, Sonny, that Stephen Dobbie's match is over. The indication seemed to go out there to the technical area that Dobbie will not be able to play any further part in the match. So Hibs, I think Chick hurriedly are going to get Yannick Zambernardi on, are they?
Yeah, they are, Rob. There was no doubt. I mean, you actually saw in the rerun of the pictures there, the signal to the bench that it was finished, and Zambernardi's coming on right now. But so some applause for the Hibs fans, but there's no, I think disconsolate might be one of the adjectives you would use for the mood at the dugout at the moment.
Yeah, on a day of lots of non-broadcastable adjectives, I think that's one we can use. Zambernardi on, Dobbie off. On a Sunday lunchtime to forget for Hibs, really. They'll have to do something pretty dramatic. Craig Beattie is onside. Jonathan Baillie had to get back to make the challenge. Corner kick. And that, amazingly, is Celtic's first corner of the match.
It's incredible. Craig Beattie doing well to stay onside there. Didn't have a lot of options. He's done the right thing, he's won the corner.
Started against Barcelona at Celtic Park, did Craig Beattie. And even a depleted Celtic have a fair bit of aerial power at the set piece. with John Kennedy and Johan Mjallby and Bobo Balde all there. Stephen McManus as well. Petrov plays it back to Jamie Smith. McNamara fires it through to the feet of John Kennedy. He's flagged offside, and I think that is possibly ironic applause from the Hibs fans aimed at Graham Allison.
John Kennedy certainly didn't agree. Now, a little bit surprised there, Celtic, from that corner kick. They've got so many big targets, and they played the short corner, played at the edge of the box, and no, we throw it in, looking for the big guys to attack it.
He's got two young defenders, Martin O'Neill, carved out in very much the image he likes. He likes his big defenders, and he's got John Kennedy and Stephen McManus, who've both done a pretty impressive job this afternoon.
They both played really well. McManus maybe blocked his coffee book a little bit with that cross, but John Kennedy's been immense at the back.
That is he.
On cue.
That's the last we'll see this afternoon of Stephen Dobbie on a stretcher disappearing down the tunnel. I hope it's nothing too serious, but it certainly was serious enough to mean that his match was over the minute he hit the deck.
I think it just cut his ankle, Rob, the challenge with John Kennedy.
What I like about Kennedy as well, and I think probably what Martin O'Neill likes about him as well, is that no great frills about him. He does the simple things. He's not over keen to play football, and that too is the way Martin O'Neill likes his defenders. He likes them to win it and then pass it to the midfield.
Yep, you can see that working. Kennedy there to Pearson. Good play, and that's a good ball forward.
Lovely pass to Craig Beattie. Change of pace required. That's a throw-in off Stephen Whittaker.
When you think how much of a massive week it is for Celtic, Thursday night obviously it's a real challenge going through the new camp to face Barcelona. And next Sunday I'm looking forward to that one. I was at Ibrox yesterday, and Rangers played better than they have done in recent weeks. A lot of passion about them, a lot of determination, and most importantly from maybe Rangers fans' point of view, 6 young Scots ended up in the field at the end of the 90 minutes. That'll be a good one next week.
And having lost 3 times to Celtic already this season, Rangers won't want to make it 4 on their home patch. And Henrik Larsson will be looking forward to another Old Firm game. It will be his second last Old Firm game. The McManus throw, and it's headed behind by Jonathan Baillie. Celtic haven't taken long enough to get their first corner kick of the match, now is their second.
Just wondering if Petrov will play this one into the danger area. The big guys are up again. Mjallby, Kennedy, McManus, Balde. There's a few targets.
Petrov's corner. Mjallby was there but couldn't get on the end of it. Kept in by Agathe. Good work from Craig Beattie. Stephen Pearson. Back into Jackie McNamara. Sunshine on Leith, but not too much for Hibs to be happy about at the moment. John Kennedy plays it off, then it wired in, but it ricocheted back off Kennedy and behind corner kick. And that's brushed round the post from Stephen Whittaker by Stephen Pearson.
I'm not really too sure why Stephen Pearson's still in here at this moment in time, but I tell you what, it's a lucky break from Celtic's point of view. That's in the net.
That's well won by Stephen McManus. I'm not quite sure what Stephen Pearson kept that out with, but I think it may have been quite a painful moment for him as he knocked that ball around the post. There may have been more than the one ball involved.
Careful.
Here's Pearson again. Brown wins it back for Hibs. got the air of a training session about it at the moment.
Yes,
certainly with the match well won by Celtic.
Yeah, but I think some of the young players out there, Rob, it's great just to be able to play football, especially at this level, and they should be enjoying it. They should be making the best of this occasion.
Chick, what's Martin O'Neill got to say at the moment?
You know, I don't think I've ever seen him in such a relaxed mood since he was last in his holidays. He's just very calm here. He's had little to say except words of encouragement for his younger players, and I think he's enjoyed a match as this, not as testing as he thought it would be before they go to Barcelona. A very quiet Sunday afternoon for Mr. O'Neill, I would say.
Did you mention the B word there?
Yeah, I did. I'm looking forward to a bit of sunshine in Barcelona, never mind leave.
You deserve a break.
Thank you.
Thursday night on the BBC, Barcelona against Celtic in the 4th round of the UEFA Cup. Can Celtic make it to the quarter-finals by taking one of their biggest ever European scalps? 1-0 up from the first leg. More than 1 million of you watched the first leg, and an even bigger audience guaranteed to watch the decider. That's lofted in. Jonathan Baillie's there for Hibs, and he's helped out as well by Kevin Nicol. And it's all firm time next Sunday. Rangers Celtic at Ibrox, the penultimate Old Firm meeting of the season. And if you think that's a meaningless match, you are sadly deluded. In the 80th minute, in Edinburgh, Hibs 0, Celtic 3. Ten minutes to go. Stephen McManus with the throw. Baillie's header. Mjallby plays it back in. Jamie Smith tried to find a way through. There's Didier Agathe. It's 4-0. 2 for Agathe, 2 for Larsson. He doesn't score too often, certainly not 2 in a game, and maybe Didier Agathe's in shock.
I think he is when you look at him there, but I'm sure he's delighted with that one. But it really is pure defending again. Jamie Smith almost gets the break here, maybe held back just a little bit, but the loose ball, Didier Agathe's onto that shot, and Daniel Andersson is through his legs again. That's the second time today it's been through his legs. The first time he's unlucky, but I think he should save this one. There's pace in the ball, it's right at him, and just you can see the look in his face here. It just scrambles between his legs and ends up in the back of the net.
Oh, Daniel through his legs for a 4-0. And Bobby Williamson not greeting that 4th goal with great delight. And well, you can already see Hibs fans trooping for the exits. Chick, what was he saying?
It's a Sunday afternoon, family audience and all that kind of thing, but he just, let's say, he's not happy. It's just about giving away the possession so cheaply in the middle of the park, not competing for it. You can see how the Hibs fans are reacting. Very disappointing a couple of Sundays for them after losing the CIS Cup, and to be turned over by Celtic today. It's really not what they wanted at all after last week.
It has been cheap, hasn't it, Sandy, from a Hibs viewpoint? And when you consider what a great 15-20 minutes they had right at the start of the match.
The disappointing thing from Bobby's angle is they've defended so poorly. Right across the back there. Lots of jerseys back, but again, a loose ball inside the box. They're first to it, but they play the ball right to Agathe. He makes sure he's there first. The goalkeeper makes a hash of it, and it's been a comedy of errors at the back. That's cost Hibs dearly today.
Caldwell plays it through. John Kennedy had bags of time. Caldwell's challenge on Petrov penalised, and Gary Caldwell has had a verbal blast at Dougie McDonald. Not recommended, and he will see yellow for that. He's frustrated, and he's been one of Hibs' better performances, I think, Sandy.
He has. He's worked hard, the youngster in the middle of the park, and he's trying to indicate there that the referee got it wrong. It was a dive. But really, whether the referee's got it wrong or not, it's only frustration. You've got to keep your mouth shut. It's Petrov that's gone down, and you can see the frustration of Caldwell right away, but the referee is not going to change his mind, and it's cost him a caution. I think maybe doing it wrong. Maybe I just let that one go. The game's finished. And you maybe should understand the frustration of the young Hibs midfield player.
John Kennedy's free kick aimed at Craig Beattie. Jamie Smith not offside, not given offside at least. Running into trouble, Yannick Zambernardi. A fierce challenge in the midfield, and well, that was all about a bit of retribution, wasn't it, by Gary Caldwell. He won the ball, but he made sure there was a bit of follow through as well on Petrov.
It was lucky, Rob, because Petrov seen it coming and get out of the road. Caldwell had made contact here. Petrov would have been in trouble.
50-0, I think. John Kennedy on Gary Caldwell that time.
It's been a lot of excitement towards the end of the game.
Calm down, calm down. Tom McManus has the accusing fingers being pointed in his direction, and it's all getting a bit out of control in the closing moments at Easter Road.
Well, it's so silly. I think the Celtic players would be wise to get out the road. They're right in front of the Hibs fans.
Well, who would be Dougie McDonald at this stage? It's a yellow card for Tom McManus.
Tom McManus is an unfortunate one there. He's trying to apologise to Didier Agathe, but Agathe's not having any of it. Not so silly. The game's finished. The points are won. This is after a series of fouls. There's been a few. McManus just swipes there at Didier Agathe. It's a silly one, but there's been a few just before that. McManus is the unlucky one to be caught. The players have to take more responsibility.
It could have been red carded there, Sandy, couldn't it?
It could have been. You wouldn't want to see that, but it's just irresponsible from quite a few players at that moment in time.
O'Neill, of course, is unable to take any of his players off to protect them, because he's used all three subs as some pretty tasty tackles are flying about here. Thankfully, Henrik Larsson is in mothballs for him at the moment, so you need him for Thursday. That's offside. So it was Didier Agathe who has started and finished the goal scoring. The way things stand, that was number 1 from Agathe. In fact, that was number 4. It looked a bit like number 1, but it was number 4. Jamie Smith trying to cause yet more problems for Hibs. 9,456 is the attendance for Hibs against Celtic, and Hibs may have had 37,500 fans at Hampden last Sunday, considerably fewer coming to the home ground this week, and a lot of the ones who were here at kick-off are not here now because their team is 4 goals down. Celtic's league goals tally is up to 93. They're going to be ton up before too much longer, and they're going to be 90 before too much longer. They're not going to have to wait too long for that title party. Some wrestling on the ground, and I think Jonathan Baillie is going to be red carded here. There looked to be a headbutt in the direction of Craig Beattie when the players got back to their feet, and Jonathan Baillie has been sent off, the 18-year-old.
That's so silly. He's won the free kicks. A challenge with Craig Beattie. I don't see too much in that, but watch it here. There's a little tangle there, and watch Baillie. He headers him in his stomach. It's not going to hurt anyone, that one. It's so silly.
There wasn't too much of the challenge, but it was the way that Baillie fell on Beattie as the two players hit the ground. There was nothing malicious about it, I don't think, but it was just an overreaction from the Hibs defender, and it maybe tells you something about the last 7 days in the life of Hibernian Football Club as well. Beaten in the CIS Cup final, taken apart by Celtic this Sunday afternoon, and he saw red in more ways than one, did the teenager.
I think that's more to do with the last 7 minutes, Rob. Some player have just lost their place, tackles flying all over the place, and the youngster Baillie at the back's paid the price.
Scott Brown has kept his cool so far. Mjallby won it for Celtic. Petrov. Nearly 89 minutes played. McNamara, Smith. That's off Riordan. And Agathe lets it go. It's another very impressive Celtic win this in a season of impressive league wins. 27 league wins and 2 draws from their 29 games. It is a remarkable record. And that was a late challenge by Kennedy on edge. And it's another yellow card to add to the collection.
Again, that's because of the few challenges recently. But Kennedy maybe just deserved just a little bit like the Reid getting to the ball first. There is more enthusiasm than anything else from John Kennedy.
An easy man of the match, Andy.
Yes, there's been a few contenders today. Henry Larsson's an obvious choice. Immense contribution, scoring 2 goals. But that young man, John Kennedy, the Celtic back four have been immense today, but he's been the pick of the back four. Timing his tackles really well, decent use of the ball, no nonsense defender. He's my Bank of Scotland man of the match.
Zambernardi for Riordan. It's not going to happen for Hibs even in the closing minutes. No consolation for them. A miserable Sunday afternoon, and that's 2 in a row. And still for Hibs, only 2 league wins since the turn of the year. And they will remain in that joint second bottom position. And minutes to be added, and we're halfway through it. Free kick for Hibs, and that will just about finish the match.
It's been a decent game, Rob, but the last 10 minutes or so has been really disappointing. The performance and the reaction of some of the players out there has become really nasty, and I really just don't see the need for it at all. It made life really difficult for the referee.
6 yellow cards and 1 red. Scott Brown still going for Hibs. Derek Riordan. We're inside the second added minute. McNamara launches it, and Dougie MacDonald, when he blows the final whistle, will do so with some relief, I would imagine. It's been a bad-tempered conclusion, but another big win for Martin O'Neill's team, which reopens the 19-point gap at the top, and they head for Barcelona on the end of a 4-0 win at Easter Road. 2 goals for Didier Agathe. He started and finished it, and 2 in the middle for Henrik Larsson, which took his tally to 32 for the season. Now Martin O'Neill can fully focus his thoughts on the new camp on Thursday night, and the big job for him initially will be to work out who he can put in his team, who's fit enough to play. But Celtic again have shown incredible professionalism here to see it home against a Hibs side who started so well at Easter Road. They had chances, might well have got themselves in front. Scott Brown there was a key player for them early on, until Agathe scored. The match turned Celtic's way, and from then on there was no way back for the home team. Having lost at Hampden last Sunday, they've lost heavily again here today against Celtic, and the champions in waiting won't have to wait too much longer before it's championship party time. But it's Barcelona coming up on Thursday night, and John Kennedy is today's man of the match.
John, that was a tasty old 90 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Great result for us. I know it's always hard coming up here, so the most important thing is come away with 3 points, and we've done that.
It says, I've got the champagne here for you. It says a lot for you. 2 goals from Agathe. It's unusual in itself. 2 from Henrik Larsson. You're the man of the match. You must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was great. Some of the boys put in great, all the boys in fact, put in great performances. Did with his goals, which don't come too often, but it's nice. All the boys worked hard, gave their best shot, and we look forward to Thursday now.
We can have a look, John, at some of your defensive qualities that you showed this afternoon. You must have been, I mean, you've been taking that a lot of from the experience of those around you.
Yeah, exactly. You're training international players every day, and you learn everything from them. You need to look up to them and take what advice you can get off them and take it into your own game.
You're another one of your youth players, McManus, in alongside you in defence today. It must be difficult at Celtic. You look at the list of superstars in that first team and you're knocking on the door, you wonder, when am I getting to this side?
Yeah, it's hard. It's one of these things, you just to bide your time when you get the chance to take it. Big Stephen came in a day, played left back, which is a bit unusual for him, but I thought he'd done great. Debut, and I thought it was fantastic playing beside us.
And anything else for the rest of the week? What's on for the rest of the week? Small date
I think there's a game Thursday somewhere.
You'll be hoping to get a place in the team in the new camp?
Yeah, it'd be nice, but just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
If it comes along, we're ready.
Martin was just bringing us up to date with the central defensive situation. You know, hopefully you said the experienced players can make it, but you would want to be part of that.
Yeah, of course. You've got to play in every game, no matter how big or small it is. Thursday's about as big as it comes. So if I play in that, I'll be delighted.
Well done, John. I'll let you get some treatment to that nose. You're not looking your best.
All right.
Bottle of champagne back to Scotland. Well done, thank you. Well done. Martin, I guess a 4-0 win is just what you need before you go to the new camp?
Yeah, we deserve to win. We played very well today in a game that normally causes a lot of problems. But the mood was right before, and I think that was important. Got ourselves into the stride, got a goal. Perhaps maybe despite that sign getting into our stride might have been against the run of play at that particular stage, but we created a number of chances in the first half, and maybe it could have been further ahead. Delighted to have won, and it's, you say, it sets us up.
What did you make of that? You gave young McManus his debut at left back today. John Kennedy again, the starting lineup. You're happy with the young players?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I thought McManus did very well indeed. When he got to the pace of the game, just early on, it was a bit strange for him. Just thought once or twice maybe he could have got out and tried to shut the ball down, allowed crosses to come in. But second half, just immediately after half time, he got a wonderful challenge in, stopped the block, and I thought he blossomed. But I thought he was doing fine in the first half, even regardless of all that. John's doing exceptionally well, and yeah, overall very pleased with him. Okay, for the next 4 days, everything else is off the agenda. Barcelona. Give me the report from the medical headquarters. Who's fit? Bring us up to date. First of all, Varga, Sutton. Well, yeah, the news at this minute would be that Varga wants to play in the game. That's the important thing. Had the game been today, he wouldn't have been fit. But we've got a few more days, and he's having such a great season. He doesn't want to miss that one for a start. Chris Sutton, I would have said to you a number of days ago that would probably have been, he probably would have had no chance. The last couple of days, there's definitely been a definite improvement. I wouldn't want to get carried away at all. But let me put it this way: there's an improvement to suggest that it's all is not lost at the moment. So that'll help if that's the case. I say that, and it's still in the lap of the gods, but you know that would give us an enormous boost if he was fit.
Valharan, has he got a chance? And of course, Mjallby, you gave him a run today.
Johan's been out now for some time. It's been a stop-start season for him, and just a matter of getting him in. He's played a couple of under-21 games. He didn't feel too bad. It's sharpness as much as anything else. But he came in there at the end and played midfield where he wanted to just get a runabout, you know. And if some of the Hibs young players are flying past him, well, he'll just have to accept that. But he dealt with it very well indeed. It's fitness as much as anything else. And Jos is. I think there's a possibility of him being fit.
Tomorrow you find out about the goalkeeping situation with Rob Douglas from UEFA. If it has to be David Marshall, you don't have many major worries about him, do you?
Absolutely not. Not a problem at all. I've been saying that there for a long, long time. And that's when he wasn't even in goal. So no problem. He's coping very well. And I would have complete confidence in him doing the job. With a bit of luck, he'll be signing a contract this season, keep him at the football club for a couple of years, and hopefully he'll develop with us. That'll be great.
At this stage then, it'd be very difficult for you to speculate on what your lineup will be at the start of Thursday.
Well, you're asking me on a Sunday. You might well ask me on a Thursday morning. I might not even be any closer to it. So Thursday's a long time away. We'll we'll be delighted we've won tonight, and yeah, of course, tomorrow morning, all thoughts on Barcelona.
It's a huge. I mean, is this as big a game as you've been involved in since you came to the club?
Well, I mean, it's a terrific game. I mean, we got to the final last season of the UEFA Cup. Barcelona, I think we said after the game, were as technically as gifted a side as appeared at Celtic Park, certainly from a continental viewpoint, and we've had some great sides coming down here. They'll be hard, there's no doubt about it, but let's go and enjoy it.
What would you say to the Celtic fans watching? I mean, how confident are you? But I want you to stand here and say you're going to go through. You're not going to say that, but you must have you've taken a goal. You take a 1-0 lead to Spain. You're ahead. You haven't lost a goal. That's so important.
Well, the truth is this here, that I think that that if we had everybody fit and available for us, I think that we would go very, very close. But that never happens. It didn't happen in the previous round against Lyon, where we were missing wide players. It didn't happen in the game before that, there when you were hoping for something. And it'll be a game for us to go and try and savour. And we'll give it everything we possibly can. If the gods are not on our side, well, we can't do anything about it. If they continue the sort of form that they've been in the Spanish league, they'll be hard to crack, of course. But you know, it's a great game to look forward to.
Hope you do it. All the best, Martin. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bobby, I just sense you're not happy about that at all.
No, we're disappointed. We gave the goals away cheaply, and you can't afford to give teams like Celtic goals because it's very difficult to get them back. We had a lot of pressure, they concede a lot of corners, and they're prepared to do that rather than concede goals. And unfortunately for us, they've got a lot of big guys in that area to put high balls into from corner kicks. It's going to be difficult.
I said to Jerry at half-time, I thought in the first half Hibs had actually played quite well. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, I thought we did well, but unfortunately we're 2 goals down. It's going to be uphill after that, but we regrouped and we said the first 10 minutes is very important. Next goal's got to be ours, and unfortunately that wasn't the case.
What about the ordering off?
I've not seen it on the TV. The boys reacted, and I always thought it had to be violent conduct, and Bill accounts he's put his head into his chest, and I don't think you can break any ribs with that or really hurt anybody. But putting your head into anybody obviously looks aggressive, so the referee's got to call it.
Thanks, Bobby. Cheers.